A super stacked UFC 259 card goes down this Saturday with 3 UFC titles on the line as Peter Yan fights Aljamain Sterling. In the co-main event, Amanda Nunes fights Megan Anderson, and the card is headlined by the much-awaited super fight between light heavyweight champion Jan Blachowicz and middleweight champion Israel Adesanya. And you can watch it go down live by ordering UFC 259 pay-per-view, which will be exclusively available on ESPN Plus. And now you can get the Disney Bundle, which includes ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, and Hulu, along with UFC 259 pay-per-view for just $82.98. So don't wait. Click the link in the description and order UFC 259 pay-per-view today.
I believe if Izzy wins, it's by decision. If Jan wins, it's by stoppage. I can't see Jan outskilling him, out finessing him, for 5 rounds. I don't see that, because when you look at Israel, I mean, look at his ring walks, look at the breakdancing, look at all that stuff. That's a guy that's got extreme coordination. You know what I mean? Any man that can dance like that has control of his body. You know what I mean? Jan's kind of like me to a certain degree. He's a big guy. He works hard. He's probably a very well-known tough guy in his neighborhood. Do you know what I mean? But he's not popping out breakdancing and doing all that shit and backflips and all the rest of it. That's a different level of coordination.
We heard Jan's music. You cannot breakdance to draconian Polish folk music. It was horrifying. I hear it in my nightmares.
Death march, okay?
It really was, dude. I was like, what are we listening to right now? I feel like we should be goose stepping.
Yeah. But if Izzy wins, I say by decision. If Jan wins, I think he catches him. I know Jan's talking about a left high kick. I think 6'4", there's a big head. There's a high kick. I mean, you can still do that. I could do that. So if I could do it, Jan could do it. Even in my pitiful state, I could still do it. So yeah, I think if Jan wins, it's KO. If Izzy wins, decision.
Do you think he can submit him?
Who?
Jan can submit him because he's a black belt, and I guess Izzy just got his purple belt, so that's a big difference there.
It's a big difference, and also if you look at the circumstances of how Izzy got his purple belt, he was training with some people there. I think it was Andre Galvao, and Galvao gave him a purple belt because he was there for a few weeks training with him. And again, I'm not discrediting his purple belt. Of course, he's a purple belt. I'm a brown belt. Good for him. I'm just saying, it's good to get a little bit of rub. You say, I'm a purple belt on the Galvao. Anyway, if you look at what's his face, Jan Blachowicz, he's got a lot of submissions. How many submissions? I'll tell you right now. That's what you're all thinking. How many? You want to know? 9. 9 submissions, 8 knockouts. I don't know who wins.
People are saying whatever about the prelims. It's like that's the leadoff batter. You know what I mean? On the baseball team, that's the lead batter. It's like I'm setting the tone. Me and Casey Kenny's fight is setting the tone for the main card, and everybody's watching that fight because it's right before the main card starts, and it's free. So a lot of eyes will be on that. It's one of the most seen slots on the entire fight card. So the UFC has a plan. They're not silly.
Listen, Petr Yan is absolutely capable of winning this fight. He's a tremendous striker, and I think he's underrated big time in that aspect. I also think he's got some underrated wrestling as well. He's not an easy guy to take down, and being from where he's from, he has a lot of access to some excellent wrestling. So he's no foreigner in that regard. I think that he's going to prepare appropriately. If you're going to fight Aljamain Sterling, you have to take away his wrestling skill. If you're able to take away his wrestling, you have a great shot of winning this fight. Now, I think that Jan, from a traditional perspective, is a better striker. He's cleaner. He's probably faster with his hands. He might even hit harder. I think he does. However, Aljo has that unorthodox style. It's a rhythm that is hard to get a handle on. He just moves differently, and it's just awkward to get adjusted to. And I think that favors Aljo and allows Aljo, I think, in theory, to get out to a good start. And I think that Jan, if he wants to win this fight, is going to have to get it done later in the fight. He did show that determination and that conditioning against Jose Aldo. He did get stronger. Aljo is going to come in tremendous shape as well. And I think Aljo, his main attack has to be with his grappling. He's got to use those unorthodox strikes to enter in, take Jan down. I think he can do that. I am also going to go with Sterling by decision. Is he capable of getting a finish? Yes. If he does, it will be by submission. However, I think he wins this in a 3-2 decision. I think it's going to be a close one, but I like Sterling in here to win and become the new champion.
Wow.
Are you still believing July 2021 Raider Stadium? Is that still a goal?
Man, with this whole corona, and America's not really doing so well like New Zealand with the whole COVID business. So, yeah, unfortunately, it might not be summer or July, but it's still December. It's still December 2021. It can happen then. All I know is that this fight needs a crowd. That fight needs a crowd. I can't do that in an empty arena. Yeah, that fight definitely needs a crowd.
Wanting to fight Jon Jones and has talked about doing it in a stadium because, quote, that fight needs a crowd, end of quote. Is it a matchup that's on your radar when COVID allows that type of thing?
Yeah, all these fights need a crowd, hopefully soon. So, yes, that would be a fight that you would want in a crowd. We could do it in the stadium over in Australia or New Zealand. I don't know, a lot of ifs. To get to that fight, but we got to get through Saturday first.
Time. Look at me. Look at me. What'd you say? Ain't you, Giga? Oh, there's 821. But he said, he's doing what? Shit.
Conor's ready to roll. Conor wants to fight again. He wants the rematch with Dustin Poirier, and he wants it as soon as possible.
So when would that happen?
We're working on it. Hopefully this summer.
What about his mindset, Dana? You and I have talked about that so many different times. Where's he at mentally? Where's his headspace right now?
Yeah, I think the loss put him back into a really good place. It's the classic, Rocky III, man. You're pulling up to the fight in yachts and, covered in Versace and, you got all the money in the world. It's hard to stay hungry.
Just don't back up. Shaking what? What? Are you crazy? You crazy? You crazy now? Okay. Thank you. We will see. Just don't back up, because when you hit that cage, I'm going to take you down and I'm going to drown you. Drown you. Drown you. Easy? Okay, we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah.